Before I get started with the episode, we need to talk about what happened in Vancouver for the Lapu Day. For those that don't know, please look it up. Basically, someone drove into the community event, and people were killed and injured. Um, and there are links below in the show notes to donate for those in need. But I think that as a community organizer, for myself and others, and I sit on the board of Cultivate Labs, where we put on these Soma South of Market events in San Francisco, like Undiscovered. I mean, this really hits home. Um, and attending so many events, so this really is hard to to hear and see. And I think that as organizers, we we have to address the community that we claim that we are there for. So when these types of things happen, we all should step up. And that said, if you're a community organizer, and I've seen some of y'all, and there's no comments, no reposts, or not even addressing what happened, but you claim to be for the community, you're not for the community. Like, you can have your Ube festivals and whatever, but then not mention, what happened in Vancouver. That's some shady shit. Psst, I see alive people. All right, welcome to Kabuay.RIP, where I preview the previous month, or talk about the previous month, and upcoming projects that I am working on. Last month, I think one of the things that I was kind of surprised about. I worked with these new organizers, Harajuku, did their Uber Fest in Concord, California. It's actually pretty good. I was kind of hesitant. I've asked other vendors, like, hey, should I do it? Should I do it? And it was kind of, yeah, give it a try. It's more kawaii, cutesy stuff, hence the Harajuku name. But I did pretty good, and speaking from a dollars and cents, we'll see about the tattoo work. And so, for those that, you know, are familiar with my pop-up things, what I do, it's a mix of outreach, but then um, lately I've kind of mixed it up, where I'll have one side of the booth have the more kitschy, putangana hats and those types of things on the Sari Sari store, which I look at that is like the dessert, and that will kind of get people in. Then the other table has all the more educational stuff in it, and I think that in that way, I'm able to kind of serve not really both sides, but where people are at. Some introduction to the culture is, yeah, through shirts and sun and stars necklaces and all of those things, and there's nothing wrong with it. We all got to start somewhere, but hopefully it'll lead folks into the much more deeper stuff, and that's what the other side of the booth is. So that event in Concord. Then last weekend I had the book launch for Little Mamba Batok, this kids book, which I think is the only, maybe I should say that, the only kids book about our tattoo practices. Had that at Malayan Botanicals for their 6-year anniversary. Had a reading. I'm going to be doing more of these events specifically for Little Mamba Batok, and then We'll have some activities for the art kit that I created. So if you're an organizer, hit me up. We'll figure something out. Um, I did meet with or reconnected with some folks in Daly City that sometimes at these events, you know you're so busy, right? You know, you're trying to deal with customers, and you know people drop by and they're hi, hello, bye, you know, good to see you, take pictures, all that stuff. But um, at this last event on Saturday at Malay Botanicals, it was a bit more evenly paced. It wasn't really a pop up thing, so I got to chill and hang out and reconnect with folks. So that's the good thing about going to these events and participating. You don't know who you'll meet that's new or reconnect. So this month, actually this Saturday, the schedule is going to be so Saturday the 3rd, I'm going to be at Gongster's Paradise, and that's at St. Joseph's, and it's a concert, traditional to modern Kolintang music. Um, this is, I don't know what year, 5 years now, fifth year, but they've been going on for a while. It was first in Oakland at the OACC, but now it's at St. Joseph's Cathedral. Really beautiful venue. It used to be a church, so you know the vibes that are going to be present there. There'll be vendors and food, so I really anticipate, you know, this year going to be just as good as the one 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah. Then on the 10th, I'm doing a Lumpia Festival, and this is in Newark, California, New Park Mall. And this is the Harajuku organizers. And for this Lumpia event, I'm gonna build a new Sari Sari store. The one that I have, you know, I've been touring it around. I'm looking at it right now. You know, it's kind of janky. It's kind of big, bulky, even though it's foldable. But I'm gonna make a new one. Hopefully, I'll debut it on the 10th. Then, actually, before that, for those, if anyone's listening that goes to UC Berkeley on Monday, and that's coming up this Monday, UC Berkeley, I'll be doing a talk at the campus with the Filipino group there, 514. That's a Wednesday. I'll be at Levi's Plaza in May. For those that don't know, May is Asia Pacific Native Hawaiian Heritage Month. You know, they just put all of us together. They're all, y'all kind of, you don't deserve your own month individually, so we'll just put you all together. But anyway, I'm doing something at Levi's Plaza. Then at the end of the month, on the 25th, I'm doing a Batok workshop in Petaluma. I haven't announced it fully yet. I'm working with the small business owner that's hosting this workshop. We're going to get the details out soon. Then on the 31st and June 1, I'll be in Seattle for Pagdiriwang. Pagdiriwang is a long festival. It's going on for decades now, I think. And it's at the Seattle Center. And this is where they have workshops. I'm going to be doing a workshop again. I go out there every year pretty much for the last maybe 7 years. So it'd be good to reconnect with the Seattle folks. So one thing I'm thinking about is doing a boot camp. I've had a few workshops around Batok and the script, but I was thinking of doing an all-day boot camp that will maybe have like two, maybe three subjects, and then eventually make it like a weekend, like camping, like an overnight thing where it'll be an all day, even some activities at night. But I think I'm gonna start first with an all day boot camp that will cover, you know, not just the usual stuff I talk about, but go more in depth. Um, and so it'll be probably be a small group. Maybe I'll have like 5 people at first as a test, and I'm looking to do that sometime in June. Um, and if you're interested, hit me up. I'm looking for a venue to host this. It'll probably be like from like 10 to 5 or something, or maybe longer, as a test for the bigger boot camp. So if you're interested in taking part of this test boot camp, let me know. Still working out the details, but that's going to be coming soon. I did have some folks interested in learning about like whenever I do a Batok workshop, people ask about apprenticing and what that entails. So I think this would be I'd like to do one a workshop where people can actually um, maybe we'll do some ceremonies or reenact some ceremonies just so they can kind of get the feel of like how it would be, not just watching, but actually taking part. So those are just some ideas that are in my head. But yeah, let me know if you're interested in it, and we'll catch you on next week. Oh, I got a nice interview next week, so stay tuned for that. All right, peace. Salamat.